Robert Kraft, to his credit, acknowledged that we made a mistake. They bring in Mike Vrabel, and the difference has been astronomical. And you see how demonstrative he is on the sidelines. You see how incredible he is on the sidelines doing these things. And you see how the team is responding. The New England Patriots are on an absolute heater. They go down to Tampa Bay and take care of a really pretty good Tampa Bay team as New England moves to 8-2 on the season, and the Bucs are now 6-3 on the season after the loss, 28-23. And this was a game where the Bucs got up on top early, and the Patriots responded, and they did it in the most interesting way. One of their best running backs, Ramondre Stevenson, was out, so they set it to Travion Henderson, and he popped a couple of big runs, touchdown runs of 69 and 55 yards. Drake Maye did it again through 2 touchdown passes, and suddenly the New England Patriots have a 1.5 game lead in that division over the Buffalo Bills, and Buffalo still got to go to their place. Look, there's still a lot of season left. We understand that. But this has been a division that has been completely dominated by Buffalo since 2019, which was the last year that the Patriots had Tom Brady under their wing. And really, since that time frame, this has been a team that has controlled this division in Buffalo. And you thought, we've got Josh Allen, right? We've got James Cook. We've got all these defensive players. We have our coaching staff, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. We have our unit in place. Everything's working. They made it to the AFC Championship game last year again and came up short against the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. And you thought, well, this is the new norm. And then, you saw a little bit of stuff from Drake Maye a year ago, and now he's continuing to process this. And even though he's only 16-30, 2 touchdowns and an interception, right now, as things change all the time, he now is the betting favorite to be the MVP. And again, don't take a lot of... Here's what you take out of that. Take out the fact that somebody's recognizing that he's playing well, okay? Because they don't give out MVPs after 10 weeks of the season. You can say who you think is in the running, and obviously, because sports betting is everywhere, you're going to hear all this time, well, he's the betting favorite, he's the betting favorite. 2 weeks ago, it was Patrick Mahomes was the betting favorite. And now, of course, it's Drake Maye. And it should be Jonathan Taylor or Matthew Stafford, which we've gone over several times, but that's really a separate issue entirely. The point is, when you hear something like he's the betting favorite, all you need to understand is that means he's playing really, really well on a team that's playing well. Because they don't give the MVP to someone who doesn't make the playoffs. And again, I said this before, I'll say it again. Go look at Joe Burrow's numbers last year. And then look at Josh Allen's. Josh Allen played great, don't get me wrong. But he won the MVP because they won their division. He went to the playoffs and went to the AFC Championship game. Even though the voting takes place ahead of that, I understand that. The point is, he had that opportunity because his team was good. Joe Burrow's team didn't make the playoffs. There's no way they were ever going to give him the MVP, even though his numbers were ridiculous. So just keep that in mind when you say someone's the betting favorite. It means just they're playing well right now. And if they continue to play well, hey, things are going well for your team. But what Mike Vrabel is doing is really remarkable in New England. I mean, he had to take that job. First of all, he wanted that job a year ago when they gave it to Gerard Mayo. It should have been Mike Vrabel. No disrespect to Gerard Mayo. It should have been Vrabel's job a year ago. I mean, he took the Tennessee Titans to the AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback. He made the Tennessee Titans relevant in almost every year he had there, except for the last couple of seasons where they didn't have a quarterback. Again, last year was Mason Rudolph and Mayo guy, okay? Will Levis. So it wasn't like he had a lot to work with his last couple of seasons at the quarterback position. So just understand that when you see, why are the Tennessee Titans struggling? They didn't have a quarterback. So Vrabel sees Drake Maye, sees that it's his team where he had the most success. Remember, he started out as a Pittsburgh Steeler. People forget that all the time. And he sees that his old team has an opening. Robert Kraft, to his credit, acknowledged that we made a mistake. They bring in Mike Vrabel, and the difference has been astronomical. And you see how demonstrative he is on the sidelines. You see how incredible he is on the sidelines doing these things. And you see how the team is responding. Look, they took a chance on Stephon Diggs when they brought him in. Stephon Diggs is a very good player, but he also is a player that every year comes with an expiration date, like that one on a milk carton. Eventually, it's going to go bad. There was really no reason for Stephon Diggs to ever leave Minnesota the way he played. There was absolutely no reason for Stephon Diggs and Buffalo to part ways the way he had played with Josh Allen together. It just fell apart for a variety of reasons. So you ride this Stephon Diggs thing as far as you can, and right now it's working. I have no idea how much longer it will work beyond this season, but right now the whole thing is coming together. And it really is fascinating to think that, is it possible that the Buffalo Bills, who have been on this 5-6 season run as being a really, really dominant team in the AFC, and really a dominant team in the NFL with one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen, has their window closed? I don't believe it has. But the way they fell apart on Sunday and the way Drake Maye and the Patriots are continuing to play, it's bringing back a lot of memories for a lot of people in the Northeast the way it used to be when Tom and Bill were running the show up there at Foxborough. And you have basically Belichick light in Mike Vrabel, and on some levels Brady light in Drake Maye, the way things are going. This stretch of the season is going to be really interesting for both New England and for the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills on some level are like the Kansas City Chiefs. They really can't afford much more margin of error here, especially if they want to win that division. They can't afford to lose another division game, because if they lose the home game for the Patriots after having lost their home game to New England, that is a tough, tough hill to climb. So the New England Patriots are making things a little uneasy for a lot of people in Western New York. And the Bills made it uneasy for a lot of people in Western New York with the way they played. They can't come out flat like that anymore. And they can't afford to lose any more division games. The Patriots are going to be there to the end. Vrabel's going to make sure they're in it the entire way. And he's going to get the most out of that team, and that team is responding to him. The question becomes, can they hold up during the crucible of the season? This was a huge win for New England to go on the road and take on a really, really good Tampa Bay team that just has been struggling a little bit lately, but they're doing a lot of positive things. This was the best win of the season for the New England Patriots by far, and the most unsettling loss of the season by far for the Buffalo Bills. You end your 7-game winning streak over Miami, a team that was falling apart, and you have the turnovers, which the thing that Josh has done a great job the last couple of seasons cutting down. They rear their ugly head. So a bad flat loss for Buffalo and a huge win for New England on the road. And the shifts of the AFC East may have changed dramatically Sunday in, of all places, the state of Florida. And that's straight facts, homie.